Hello and welcome back to the Battle of Central Europe here on HeflaTV's second Hitbox channel. We're here to bring you Game 2 of a Best of 2 series between AlbumSheet and Lajons, but unfortunately Lajons, their team name isn't showing up. Either way, it is their full lineup that they were playing with last game, and I'm going to be Grant SV, and joined by Mike Loris again for this game number 2.
Yeah, so Lajons got absolutely wrecked in the last game. Hopefully that's not going to be the case here. We have set the server as automatic, which is the best server, of course. Everyone knows automatic servers are the best. And hopefully everything should be fine on that front. Lajons, I mean, they drafted a lineup that is pretty much their type of lineup. Not too convinced on the... I was just about to say, not too convinced on the Elder Titan Keeper the Light combo, but it seems like Lajons really want to make this work.
Yeah, I mean, it did decently for them, and maybe they'll prove this differently, but AlbumSheet, they're going to go for exactly the same opener that they went for in game number 1. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Death Prophet and Ogre Magi is going to be there first, too. Definitely game number 1, ping issues were on both sides, and definitely for Lajons, so hopefully that's all fixed. I think we're on Stockholm for this game number 2, but as I said, we put it on automatic, and pray that the pings all work out.
All right, so AlbumSheet going to pick the exact same thing up. Lajons, they didn't... no, Elder Titan was their second pick. What did they pick first?
Let's see. It was Tidehunter, but that's banned out.
Aha, so we are going to see a different game after all. That's nice to know, but ET, as the first pick, it's going to be partnered up this time with the Nature's Prophet. Lots of heroes, or these two heroes can buy a lot of space for whoever they want to be able to protect. Again, though, they're going to be up against a very similar style of pushing from AlbumSheet at the bare minimum. I mean, you have Death Prophet, and she's going to be able to push things left and right. Elder Titan is actually pretty good at countering Death Prophet pushes, but he's not that great, especially if Lajons want to run him as support again, which I don't think last game did anything, like, at all.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, it looks like they're kind of gearing up towards that. It would bump the Nature's Prophet either into jungle or into safe lane or mid farming, if they decide to go that Elder Titan as an off-lane hero. So I think this is another support Elder Titan for them. Whether it works or not is another story. I know that Team Secret love playing their Elder Titan support, but No-Tail just seems to make it work. I haven't seen the same caliber of play coming out from Lajons as of late. For now, we're going to see the next couple of bans. Spectre and Faceless Void taken out by either side. Still Razor's in the pool, and I'd like to see somebody take it out. As AlbumSheet, they'll take it up if it's available.
Yeah, and Lajons, though they could work decently with the Razor, it is AlbumSheet to have the first pick. And you know, Skywrath Mage is currently in the pool as well. Maybe they want to go for their support lineup first, but I honestly think that for AlbumSheet, after seeing the support pickups for Lajons in game number 1, they shouldn't really have a huge priority on support pickups, just because they know that they could realistically get pretty much any functional support that they want. Like, if they want a stun, they will be able to get a hero with a stun, stuff like that. So it shouldn't really be the highest priority for AlbumSheet. Therefore, actually, the Razor is banned. It's second ban on the other end. So I was going to say Razor's pretty good, but no, it's not good, really. So AlbumSheet, maybe they do want to go for that Skywrath after all, as Puck is going to get the boot out.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Ogre Magi and Skywrath, a lot of damage coming out from those two, as well as a decent amount of control with the silence. Although not the greatest up against Elder Titan Nature's Prophet, being able to cancel his TP another way is always nice. And, I don't know, just being able to drop a Mystic Flare on top of Nature's Prophet's head is also a wonderful tool that they can have, and honestly, you can't really go wrong with those two paired up as supports. You can roam, you can play passively, and there you go, Skywrath Mage is their choice.
What a surprise. And then it's going to be the Mirana pickup for Lajons. It was a Shadow Demon banned out last game by AlbumSheet, possibly to prevent this, but this Mirana so far doesn't really have that much setup. It is possible to go for a Shadow Demon as their 4th pick, which would be okay, but yeah, I don't really know. I feel like all of these Lajons heroes are just so middle of the road. Like, Elder Titan can fit into anything, as can Nature's Prophet Mirana, but AlbumSheet, they're going to commit real hard. Even more minus armor. That's the Slardar pick.
Yeah. They don't really have any other minus armor to synergize with this Slardar, but the physical damage coming out from Death Prophet amplified by Slardar's ultimate is always fairly scary, and it's going to give them a nice way to jump in to Lajons. Slardar is, I don't know, a very iffy hero. I think it can work out for AlbumSheet this game, but as for Lajons, they can go ahead and pick up a Sven. Right now, it's still yet to be seen whether this is a support or a carry. Honestly, I think it's a support Sven, but it could just be a carry Sven than a support Mirana. I think those two are pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah, I would agree. It's going to be the Vengeful Spirit band for AlbumSheet, so Obviously, this isn't really going to show what Lions want as their last, but even if it is a core Mirana or a core Sven, the gameplay is probably not going to change that much, as they will probably be going into a lane together, just because you have stun into stun combo, and it's not the most beautiful of things, but it gets the job done. Batrider's banned out now from by Lions from AlbumSheet, and well, I would like a little bit of initiation. Not too many initiators on the board still. You can depend on Slardar to do that somewhat, although generally you want to have him as more of a secondary initiator. I'm kind of looking towards the Centaur right now for AlbumSheet.
Yeah, it would work nicely with the rest of your heroes, even more movement speed to work with. Already, this lineup is very fast coming out from AlbumSheet, with the exception of the Ogre Magi. Death Prophet's going to be running at practically max movement speed, and Slardar also with his sprint. Yeah, I think Centaur would fit the bill for them, although not as focused initiation as a Batrider. It still gets the job done, will offer even more burst damage for taking down the likes of the Mirana Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, or they could just go for a little bit more minus armor if they want to be really cute with that. I don't really think if that's the best way to go. I mean, they do have some pretty nice minus armor synergy with the Death Prophet Exorcism. It's going to be a Legion. No minus armor there, but certainly a hero that could benefit quite a bit from amplified damage, and she will be able to buff out many of these stuns that are going to be thrown the way of AlbumSheet. Usually I don't really love this hero, but I think in this game it'll work, and now with the PA pick, it is looking to be a support Sven, unless the Elder Titan is once again going to take that support role.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to do, like it or not. Era's going to be picking up the Phantom Assassin. As you said, this Legion Commander pick, I quite like it here. The utility coming out from that press the attack is going to be akin to the Abaddon Shield, being able to purge off this arrow coming out from Mirana especially, and then even just the Stormhammer coming out from the Sven will be really nice for AlbumSheet to have at their disposal, and can benefit very heavily from the Scarlet Mage Mystic Flare on top of it. I think AlbumSheet, again, come away with just a more well-rounded draft. As far as the Radiant side of the map, it is going to be Lions there, with Mirana being handled by Sullen heading towards the mid lane, being pooled a ward currently. Kix is going to be on the Sven and might be farming this lane. Could just be a pure support Mirana. It looks like that's going to be the case. Offlane, Jonestown fan is going to be playing on the Nature's Prophet, and down towards bottom, it's Era on the Phantom Assassin, supported by Bland, making a return performance on his Elder Titan.
And on AlbumSheet, we got Sunlight, who's going to be supporting as the Skywrath Mage. No Fear, also going to take that role as the Ogre Magi. Chomi's going to be playing the Death Prophet once again. Aloha Dance is once again on the minus armor hero, the Slardar. That leaves Afterlife on the Legion Commander. So, I actually do like seeing Lions run Era's Phantom Assassin, though it is a very hyper carry if the situation arises. She could also be very active in the early stages, and really that's not usually what Lions like to do, but I have seen Era do it before, and it worked out extremely, extremely well. So, I think the more active Lions could be with more heroes, the better off it will be for them, just generally as a team.
Yeah, I think that's fair, although I am a little bit on the fence about Phantom Assassin this game, since the supporting cast for PA doesn't seem that great. Usually I like seeing Ogre Magi, Wisp, or Magnus behind a Phantom Assassin just to give that extra damage steroid, which Phantom Assassin really thrives on, but the Elder Titan minus armor might be enough. I'm still on the fence about it. As far as who's going offlane, for AlbumSheet, it's going to be a pure offlane Slaughter played by Aloha Dance. The supports are currently sitting here, so it could just be an aggressive tri-lane. But honestly, Slardar could probably handle this lane decently well alone. Then you add in the extra stun coming out from the Ogre Magi, as well as a little bit more setup from the Scarlet Mage, not to mention the damage. And there's a lot of killing potential here. Again, I don't think Era is going to be able to get very much out of this lane.
Yeah, I think, as weird as it is to say, the bottom lane is going to depend a lot on how the mid lane goes. With, once again, Chomi matching up against another mid hero, it's going to be AlbumSheet who are going to be kind of aggressively looking to kill off this Sven, just because it is so possible. And then the supports for Lions trying to do the exact opposite and trying to defend their Sven with their supports. So at that case, AlbumSheet's Slardar is going to be just fine, as they do open up onto the Sven. Won't be able to do that much damage. A little bit too far away there, but Chomi's going to have, once again, an easy time. And because of that, the Slardar is also having an easy time. Afterlife might be having a little bit more of a difficult time versus the Nature's Prophet, but for Legion Commander, this is certainly doable.
Yeah, definitely, especially once the levels start coming out in overwhelming odds. If you catch a full creep wave as well as those trees, it can do a truckload of damage. Currently trading with an Elder Titan. Not the greatest of plans for the Legion Commander. With that plus 25 damage, Bland is just putting the screws to Afterlife. Currently only sitting on tangos and with no points up into the press the attack. Leech Commander's going to be struggling a little bit the early portions of this lane, but at the very least getting some experience, and really all you need for a Leech Commander is level 6, then the fun starts when you're able to find some pickoffs with the rest of your team. Although Blink Dagger would be wonderful, this game I don't think it's super important, especially since you have a Slaughter to jump in for you.
That's just the power of the Elder Titan who opened up with boots first. It's not exactly as explosive as a Sand King or an Ogre Magi, but as you said, it gets the job done. Mid lane Chomi getting chainstone with the Stormhammer. That's going to be our first blood. I think an arrow must have landed there as well, because Death Prophet was sitting there for an awfully long time, and that's going to be a nice little pickup for Lions. Quicksil is already going to struggle in this lane, but now with the kill to his name, it's going to get a little bit easier, although he's not completely out of the woods. It's certainly going to be much needed as far as, keeping even with the Death Prophet. I don't think he's ever going to take a lead unless this happens again, which it was close to happening, but not quite there. And they're going to go for bottom lane. Ira, he's going to get concussive, and he will have a creep wave to blink out to, although HeflaTV really wants in on this. Ira's going to try to salve, will immediately be canceled. Then another smack from the Slardar is going to kill off the PA. These supports from Lions, though they are helping out their other lanes, they're really sacrificing Ira, and I don't really know if that's a worthwhile trade.
Yeah, neither do I. Although the Death Prophet, she's not going to have as good a time as this game. This Mirana pretty much needs to camp this lane. It's down in bottom, some traded blows. They're going to drop a Spirit onto Sunlight as well as an arrow that lands onto the Skywrath Mage. Follow-up with the Stomp isn't going to be necessary as the Blink comes forward from Arrow looking for just a little bit more damage. Can they find it? Ignite as well as the stun coming out from No Fear is going to bail out his Skywrath Mage buddy, and now LajOns wants in on this action. He can't find any of the supports. It's now going to change his focus towards Arrow, but being body blocked by No Fear, can't really go for much more. Still 1-1. Tied as AlbumSheet are able to avoid disaster in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and even if the Skywrath Mage went down, it's only a Skywrath Mage going down. Worst case scenario, Era picks that one up, but after taking a death already, Phantom Assassin's going to need a little bit more than just a kill in order to really recover in this lane, as with the current dual lane-ish status of AlbumSheet, Era is getting next to nothing in CS. Honestly, I think he should have a little bit more just having the Stifling Dagger, but if he gets close to this wave, then LajOns, just by himself, could put some serious damage onto Ira, not even to mention this Crush into Fire Blast combination, or I guess Fire Blast into Crush combo. Things are looking very bad for the bottom lane for Lions, and really their supports, because of the weakness in their mid lane, are kind of forced to do this. Like Solon and Bland are just sitting by Quicks and just holding his hand, and the Death Prophet isn't even here.
Yeah, and although the Death Prophet's looking good as far as net worth is concerned and farm, in general it's really bad for them. Afterlife, after the Elder Titan made himself scarce up in the top lane, has been able to pick up a little bit more momentum up against Nature's Prophet. Even though I think that he's behind in this lane, he's still doing completely fine. His CS is a little bit inflated since you do have the treants every once in a while. Currently, Elder Titan making a rotation, looking for the stomp. He might be able to connect, and indeed he will. Once the, Spirit comes back, it'll be a little bit of extra damage for the Elder Titan, but doesn't even abuse it. Would have only been extra 10 as it only hit onto the, Yep.
Chomi's going to get chased down by Quicks and Solon. There is support coming in from behind, though. Solon, the last right click is going to miss from the high ground, but the tower will secure the kill regardless. Sven now on the run should be just fine, even though there is an Ogre with a double damage rune. Pretty scary. No boots is going to mean that Sven will make his escape, and that's Death Prophet taking another fall there. Just getting, once again, hit with the Arrow Stormhammer combo. It's not exactly the cleanest combo, especially in the mid lane where things get very clustered very quickly, but hey, if you land it, then it works, and, well, they're going to rotate down to the bottom lane. Not phased right now, AlbumSheet. They're going to charge forward, as, meantime, Afterlife's going to charge forward for Jonas, and Fan really wants to kill on Nature's Prophet. Will get it as well. Overwhelming odds, does a broken amount of damage versus all those treants. In the meantime, Chomi and Quicks, once again, training hits. These guys all have to calm down because there's way too much action. Afterlife is actually still being chased down by these treants. I can see Nature's Prophet respawning and then teleporting straight into this leading commander. She needs to get these bottle charges up and going. As Nature's Prophet, he is now up, but he's not going to go for it.
Yeah. Nature's Prophet was body blocking like a champ under towers, so Legion Commander takes a lot more damage than she bargained for, but still not able to secure that kill, and yeah, a little bit too deep for Nature's Prophet to dive. Yeah, it was well played by the Nature's Prophet, making the best out of a poor situation. Currently, the lanes are going to go back to the way they were. Death Prophet's making a little bit of a stack for himself over at the large camp. That should make it a triple stack. And Chomi will be able to mop that up with just a little bit more Crypt Swarm spam in the near future, which will accelerate Death Prophet's farm. Stormhammer used for farming bike kicks does have the power treads as well as the bottles, so sustaining that mana usage is fairly easy, especially when your Mirana is sitting on a bounty rune for yourself.
LajOns does have a Midas recipe flying out to himself, so Slaughter with Midas is truly a devastating hero to see, as I'm sure Blink Dagger will be coming down somewhere in his build. Obviously, it's not going to be first. It's going to be Chomi who's in the most trouble. Kicks looking for a Stormhammer, a little bit too slow, actually. That's level 3 Witchcraft doing a little bit of work for the Death Prophet, keeping herself just out of range. If the Stormhammer landed, I'm pretty sure the kill would have happened, but of course, it wasn't meant to be this time. Sven's still playing very aggressively, and he's getting a decent amount of farm, but even with all this pressure that he's applying to the Death Prophet, he's still behind in CS, and he should be at least ahead just because Death Prophet's been out of lane for however much time.
Yeah, definitely. This game a lot more even than the one we previously saw. Phantom Assassin forced out of lane. Now they're pursuing further. Stomp going to land onto Aloha Dance, going to be immediately woken up by a Stifling Dagger. The right-click damage coming out from Bland is going to be pretty significant, although not significant enough. There is some support coming out from No Fear, but the Nature's Prophet Ultimate's going to snipe off the Scarf Mage and TPM from Jonas Sunfan. It's going to be a double kill as he kills off the Slaughter, being crushed. As he dies, No Fear going to stomp one of the ET Illusions. Now Sprouted can't walk that way, now trying to look for a little bit of a path around, being body blocked by Illusions a little bit, but not enough. No Fear is pretty darn tanky, but not tanky enough. Blinked forward by Era. It's going to be a triple kill for Jonas Sunfan. Is in mid. Death Prophet's also cleaned up by the Sven. Now Sunlight going to join the wrong neighborhood as the Treants are there. He's kind of stuck in a bit of a corner. The right clicks are going to be enough, or will they? A very fast hero. Scarf Mage making his way towards the side of the fight. The Treants are just going to stand there awkwardly. A little bit of vision given the Slaughter as he chases down Jonas Sunfan. He is amplified up, and Slaughter can't dive that deep, especially with no Blink Dagger or any other items to help his damage out. Still, it's going to be Lions coming out with a fairly large win, getting a 4-for-0 trade.
Man, that was huge for Lions. I mean, it was not going the best for them up to this point, but getting all those kills in the bottom lane, even killing off the Death Prophet in mid, which is like the cherry on the cake, is going to give the Nature Prophet and Midas, picked on the bottom lane rather, is going to be in a lot of trouble though. Amplified up already, even bashed by Aloha Dance. The Stormhammer will fly through, but this Arcane Bolt will be lethal. That's Sven going down. Ira's going to come in, but he's not going to expect No Fear from coming around from the corner. Ignite is going to burn the Phantom Assassin down. That's 2 kills for AlbumSheet. You can't really blame Ira for doing that. He didn't know that there was an Ogre there. But there was, in fact, an Ogre there, and that's going to be 2 kills for AlbumSheet. Suddenly, that trade on the bottom lane is looking a little bit better for AlbumSheet, although not fantastic still. They're getting kills, and it is going to be a very high-impact kill on the Phantom Assassin. They need a little bit more to completely redeem what happened down the bottom lane, but that's a good way to start.
Yeah, definitely. In the meantime, it's been Leech Commander farming away, going for power shreds as well as the bottle. It helps Sustainer in this lane up against the Nature's Prophet. It does can pick up his Midas. Outside of that, the item progression's pretty slow. I expect the Blink Daggers coming out from AlbumSheet to be the next major factor, and adding some action to this game. No Fear has picked himself up a haste room, but there's not an opening anywhere on the map to find kills. Everybody's just kind of chilling, at least for now, making up for a little bit of action that we saw down in bottom lane as everybody's getting a little bit of regen in.
Yeah, the Death Prophet is going to be going for drums. Once she has that, she's going to be looking for Phase Boots, Yule Scepter. The deaths on the hero slow her down by quite a bit, so the items aren't really going to come out for Death Prophet just yet, but really the items, although kind of important for Death Prophet, are not as important as levels, and she's still getting that decently well. Level 8 tied with the Sven, so can't really be too unhappy about that if you're AlbumSheet. Really, it's going to be the Blink Daggers, as normally they do dictate the pace of the game. It's going to be just another one of those games where Slardar should be going for a Blink right now, though Power Tread seems to be the name of the game before that. Legion Commander is going to be doing, I would assume, the exact same thing. She has yet to take a stack of dual damage, but once she gets a Blink Dagger, then she's really going to start to aggressively look for that.
Yeah, definitely. Sports aren't rotating very heavily, except for Lions, which brought us looking for some arrows in mid. Can't find them. Bland's been decently active, especially in this middle lane, just shooting some pot shots over the way of the DP, and has been moderately successful in landing those 3 points up the arrow and 2 points up in the leap. Other Titan makes his way towards top, is spotted out by the amp coming out from Aloha Dance. But that's about it. Death Prophet's going to make her way back towards mid. After farming up that stack, drums are flying out to her on the courier.
And No Fear Sunlight going to duck into the Roshan pit and smoke up. They're going to look towards Ira on the bottom lane, and they have a Mystic Flare. There is no level 6 in Ogre Magi, so Sunlight getting a lot more experience than his other support counterpart. And Ira, he seems like he knows what's happening right now, but there was no vision in the area, so they can feasibly dive this. All they need is for one stun to land in a Mystic Flare, and Ira, he will go down. And we might be seeing that right now. Ira, Fire Blasted, no Mystic Flare just yet. Dueled up, now the Mystic Flare. Or not, you don't even need it. That's good too.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty clean kill, and our first stack of dual damage for the Leech Commander with the bottle will be just fine, but Death Prophet going to be TP'd on. They do get the Sprout off. The Stormhammer is going to fly through, lands on Chomi. Arrow's going to hit into No Fear, and you just take the bullet for the DP, as the TP away is going to keep the Nature's Prophet safe. Nobody's going to die in the middle lane.
Very aggressive TP in from Nature's Prophet, but a very easy TP out from him. Using a little bit of gold to do that, but that's no big deal. Really, as Ogre Magi, that's pretty much the ideal situation. Although now running into the Sven, there is God Strength up. However, No Fear does get the Fire Blast. He is, well, going to run straight into a Stifling Dagger. Thought he was going to make it out, but no, Sven, PA is not going to have any of that. Ogre does go down in the end, but still, it was a worthwhile move for him to take the bullet for Chomi. If not, then the Death Prophet would have gone down for the 4th time, and that's just too many times for Death Prophet to die in general in a game. Kix is going to secure himself a double damage rune. Afterlife, thinking about chasing forward for this one. He does have a Mystic Flare right behind him. Is there a duel? There is, but the blink out from Sven, going to keep himself alive, plus an arrow for good measure. That could have been another stack of dual damage if Afterlife was close enough, but still he has yet to pick up the blink.
Yeah. Sven's Blink Dagger is going to come out at a decent time, and Kix does have the DD activated, so people need to be careful, respect their distances, Sven. But as the game goes later, Slardar is also going to be picking up quite a bit of momentum, since he does back off for the Midas instead of going for the straight up Blink. His farm is also looking pretty good, and we'll just pick up with time. Still, for now, it's Lions to have that Blink advantage, and way to initiate onto the enemy team that AlbumSheet are lacking, and it looks like Lions are going to make use of that, smoking up in mid with the Bolt Mirana as well as the Sven. Arrows available for Solon if they find an opening onto anybody, and currently that somebody might be the Leech Commander, farming over in the side camp, but it's going to be the Death Prophet in mid. Stormhammer as well as the Arrow to follow up. It's going to be a fairly easy pickoff in mid. Bland is also smoked up. I believe that was the same smoke that was spent onto the Mirana as well as the Sven, but also still has one in his inventory.
It's pretty much impossible to defend yourself against a Blink Stormhammer. It comes out so freaking quickly. Maybe if you have a Yule Scepter and, you know, Gosu timings, then you'll be able to do it, but Death Prophet is very far away from that, as she only has a drum right now, and that, for 13 minutes in the game, is not where you want any hero to be, let alone a Death Prophet, who at this point you would want to have drum phase and one Yule Scepter component at the very least. So this Death Prophet's going to be constantly getting ganked, is going to be ganked constantly by that type of combination. Hell, everyone on AlbumSheet is going to feel the wrath of this now blinking Sven, and he's going to set up on top lane. They've used that secondary smoke, and this time they're looking for Slardar. Without the arrow to combo up, it will be a little bit more difficult. However, I think they will have enough regardless. Elatine actually doesn't have that many levels on him, so maybe it won't be enough.
Yeah, right now, level 6 on Bland, it's decent for a support at this stage, but Elder Titan wants to have a lot more. Only 1 point up in the Aura and 3 points up into the Spirit as well. Sven doesn't pop the smoke, but they don't find a kill either. It's just going to be a rune secured by Sven, and for now, AlbumSheet are getting away with this Midas on Loha Dance. We also have a Blink Dagger up on the Leech Commander as well to start opening up the fights. In fact, Slardar is not going for a Blink at all, looking towards the Vanguard.
I mean, these are all good items to have for sure on a Slardar, and he's going to very quickly take out Roshan, and it's going to prompt a response for Lions. They have Moonlight Shadow now available, and they have used it already. If they get an arrow, and they should be able to, then that's going to be the best way of opening a fight. However, Kix is going to jump in, get stunned, and Mystic Cleared beforehand, dropping pretty low before the fight even starts, down to less than half HP. Loa Dance, though, very weak as well. Roshan doing quite a bit of damage still. They really need this Aegis, and it's going to be taken. Loa Dance now has double life. Now they feel comfortable fighting if they can find an opening, but it looks like there won't be any opening. That's completely fine for AlbumSheet. They're a little bit too roughed up for that, and even though this Sven was dropped pretty low, that was just to keep him back. It's going to be AlbumSheet with the Roshan kill, and that's about it.
Yeah, definitely. Leech Commander is also available with her Blink Dagger. Hasn't shown it off yet. Still only that 1 stack of damage. If she has any backup, Era might just die straight up to that. And this Phantom Assassin currently just isn't sitting on that much gold. Aquila power treads at this game is bad as it is to just have drums on the Death Prophet. She's looking a lot better than Era is. Phantom Assassin, as far as carries are concerned, can do quite a bit without items as long as you get the crits, which, if the luck is in the favor of Era, can happen, but it's just not enough. Slardar is working with Vanguard Midas on top of this, and it's only going to get scarier as the game progresses. That last Aegis going the way of AlbumSheet is absolutely huge for this game, and AlbumSheet are not going to sit on it. They smoke up with their 2 supports and look for another pickoff, and they might be able to find it.
Yeah, as you said, Slardar going to get a lot scary as the game progresses. A lot scary, a lot faster. Mid lane, well, No Fear is going to get tagged with an arrow. Earth Splitter as well is going to drop him pretty low. Oh, maybe he will drop if a Nature's Prophet wants to go in, but Chomi's going to chase everyone off. But yeah, with the Midas Slardar, he will be farming a lot faster than anyone from Lions. Currently, there is only the Nature's Prophet with Hannah Midas, which, though he can farm pretty quickly, it's pretty much a given that the Nature's Prophet is going to farm. Mid lane Sunlight is going to be blunked upon, and Scarith Mage is so dead. Arrow's going to pick him off. This Sven Mirana combo, it is working so much easier now that you have a Blink Dagger. I mean, landing those combos is just easy as pie.
Yeah, it's going to be tier 1 tower after the fact. Kix is going to blink away, however, as the glyph comes out from AlbumSheet. God Strength was spent, so a little bit of commitment coming out from Lions, but nothing too huge. You can just use this to farm jungle in the meantime. Yeah, it is working out nicely for them, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough since they aren't getting farmed in the Phantom Assassin. Nature's Prophet's build this game. He's going to be angling himself towards an Orchid as he jumps up towards top. Is able to get off the Sprout before being silenced by DP, and now with the Crush, as well as the ultimate coming out from Chomi, he's dead in an instant. That minus armor as well as the Exorcism Spirit is just too much for Nature's Prophet to handle.
It'll be too much for anyone to handle. I mean, that is a truckload of damage. Exorcism by itself will be able to kill you off pretty much 80% of the time. With an amplified damage on top of that, things just get disgusting. Now there's a Blink Dagger for the Slardar. He has pretty much all the items he could possibly want for a pre-20-minute build. This build for Slardar is a truckload of gold, 8.2k net worth, and now he's going to sprint immediately towards the mid lane. Kix and Mirana have tried to go for the Legion Commander previously, but they just fell short because the arrow missed. Lajons really wants in on this Sven, and he's going to not be able to catch up to him. And he was pretty far away to begin with, but that's fine because they're just going to go for a simple, straightforward push, potentially over towards the mid lane. It will be a trade if nothing else, as Jonas Fan Era on the bottom lane will look to take that one down, but without Exorcism, this tower push is actually going to be very slow, especially with the Wrath of Nature. They will get the initiation onto Soul, and they really need a duel or overwhelming odds or something. Blink forward for a duel, one smack from the Legion, easy damage for her. Solan's going to drop. It will be a kill for a tower, which is it might be a trade later on, but really this is okay for AlbumSheet since they get damage on the Legion. If they just got a regular kill, probably wouldn't be as worth it.
Yeah, but that dual damage is going to start racking up for Afterlife. Now with an Invis Rune, this might be a secondary opening for the LC. Legion's next item should be a Blade Mail with the, excuse me, Broadsword in their inventory. Era's being stalked down in bottom. They have a blink on Aloha Dance, trying to sprint after him, but a blink away from Era is not going to keep himself safe as the Crush connects. And now with the Mystic Flare, Fire Blast, Era doesn't stand a chance. Although he's going to survive longer than I thought he would, he's still going to end up falling down. But Aloha Dance, he's going to lose his Aegis immediately after. However, the Sven and Elder Titan can't stick around as he has backup in the form of the Ogre as well as Scarith Mage. Blink away will keep Slardar completely safe.
Still a worthwhile kill for AlbumSheet to take. Roshan was going to reclaim the Aegis soon anyway, so you might as well suicide yourself and get some value to happen. It's going to be Afterlife running into Kix one more time. He's going to try to charge forward. However, the Sven actually blinks around Afterlife. Now the stuns onto Kix. He'll all be interrupted by an Elder Titan Stomp, so Kix has a little bit of time to get himself away, although overwhelming odds, going to drop him very low. Slardar has enough sticking power, I think, to kill off this Sven. Needs one more hit. That's all he needs. Dual damage. Just in the nick of time. Legion Commander secures that. In the meantime, No Fear dies solo to Jonas and Fan. I guess he gets picked off by the Wrath of Nature, but that was an extremely short duel. I don't even know if Legion Commander got a hit in, but regardless, it's the kill. And now Jonas and Fan, he's amplified up, and he has no prayer in the world at escaping this one. No duel that time, but it's a kill nonetheless for AlbumSheet.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was just a Nature's Prophet sniping off the Orb Magi with a Wrath of Nature. But yeah, AlbumSheet, once they get this Blink Dagger on the Slardar, they're going to ramp up the aggression. They've been able to find a lot of openings, and this is pretty scary. For Radiant, we've kind of been coming back to it a little bit every time. Era still has nothing. He has Treads, Aquila, and Drums, which is nice to have like 5 to 10 minutes ago. But right now, it's just not going to cut the cake. He has a decent amount of net worth, but it's still not enough. About half where Aloha Dance was. And for Era, this is a pretty similar story to what we saw last game.
Yeah, and AlbumSheet just drafted a lineup that can shut down a Phantom Assassin. They will have to get MKBs a little bit down the line. You know, once Scarith Mage and Death Prophet stop instantly killing the Phantom Assassin, which isn't going to be for a very long time, but that's not really going to be a huge deal for AlbumSheet just because they are getting so much gold. They will be able to get all the items they want, i.e. Blink Dagger, Vanguard, Blade Mails, stuff like that, and then go for those kind of necessary items in the MKBs later on. Or they could just, you know, buy sheep sticks on necessary heroes and just get that workaround. Like, who cares if there's a Phantom Assassin on the other end? We'll just hex her and be okay with that. It is going to be, once again, a duel into Jonas and Fan. Mystic Flare from the low ground. Easy dual damage for Afterlife. He was like at 0 for, what, 10 minutes, 12 minutes into the game. All of a sudden now he's at plus 52, which is pretty damn good for 21 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Afterlife's been catching up, and this aggression isn't going to suffer after, excuse me, AlbumSheet. Whenever they have that duel off of cooldown, they'll be able to fill it up with a kill fairly easily. As Nature's Prophet wants to be slow pushing, Era has been playing catch up pretty much this entire game after dying 4 times in the early portions of the game. And it's just not a pretty picture for these individual heroes. Scarth Mage TPs his way up towards top, but he's the only hero here, so can't really do anything. They're TPing in the Slaughter, and now Concussed Shot's going to be disjointed by a blink away from the Sven, and the best they can hope for is a deny, but they will get it as Sunlight secures that last hit. Sprint, he's going to find himself an Era, but now he's going to be Stormhammered up, and with an arrow to follow up into Aloha Dance, there's no way he can run. He's going to be critted by the Phantom Assassin. Era finding himself a little bit of revenge there, and now they pursue the Scarth Mage a little bit. Jonas Sunfan does have an Orchid as well as a Sprout, but can't catch up to the swift Scarth Mage.
And definitely just did not expect that many heroes there. He knew that there was a Sven. He did not know that there was a Mirana, nor did he know that there was a PA. Like, maybe with just Sven Mirana he would have escaped, but not with the crits on top. Even if you don't have that much gold in the PA, you will be doing a lot of damage if the enemy isn't moving and you have all the time in the world to hit him. It is going to be what looks like a tier 2 for tier 2 trade. Afterlife going to try TP out, will get snapped back, and then put to sleep by the Stomp. Still on top lane, Sunlight's all alone. He's going to try to make a defense, but I don't think this is a defense that you can really make. Now he's literally stuck in a corner, and he's going to go down. Expected those TPs to stick, but the Elder Titan coming in just in the nick of time is going to end up killing the Scarth Mage all the way up on top lane. Honestly, he should have expected that Sunlight and, not went in, but I don't think he had much room to navigate anyway. Slaughter is going to teleport up to the top lane. He's going to jump board for a crush, and Josephine try to TP out. Now the beatdown. Oh, he's going to get the Sprout, but he still has vision because of that Amplify. Meantime, Elder Titan does die to the Legion Commander, and now Chomi's going to run into Solon and Kicks. This might be a kill for the Sven Mirana lane again, although No Fear is going to come in for a little bit of assistance, double ignite onto Kicks, and that will be Chomi getting a little bit more space to bottle up. They're going to survive. Did the Legion Commander get more dual damage? She did. That was just a solo kill for her. This is still in a support Elder Titan, and he has no survivability items. Afterlife can do this for, the next 20 minutes if he needs to.
Yeah, definitely. Now with the Maelstrom on top of this, Legion Commander is going to be hitting pretty darn hard, and the Mirana is probably also going to die in just one duel. Also playing pretty much a pure support, just Arcane Boots to her name. Solon can't really do much about this, and Afterlife is pretty free to be around the map unless he gets caught up by the Stormhammer of the Sven. As long as he's quick on his fingers, the Blink should keep him safe in most situations.
Sven has a very necessary item now, the BKB. It's going to help him survive in these situations. However, Amplified Damage Exorcism is still going to be a threat, so BKB, though helpful, it's not going to be the end all, and he's going to have to be very careful about when he decides to pop that. Usually it's Blink into Stormhammer into a BKB and beatdown, but if you engage too quickly, you could get punished. Afterlife is going to get jumped with Stormhammer Arrow. Does have a Blade Mail active, however, now he's going to heal himself, start dueling Kicks. That's a terrible idea. What the hell was the plan there, Legion Commander? I have no idea. He does have No Fear and a multicast Mystic Flare onto Era to back him up, but Era is going to survive just barely. Now the mischance can help him out a little bit, but this bolt is going to kill him off. Boom, Era's died. And now No Fear is going to get jumped by Kicks and Josephine in the Roshan pit, trying to juke within the Fog of War. He will not make that happen. That was a little bit of a desperation duel, I think, from the Legion. You can't really duel a Sven and win like that with the 1v2 scenario.
Yeah, even with the Blade Mail active, if it was 1v1, I say the chances are a lot better for the Legion Commander. But yeah, with the Mirana also there, you can't actually accomplish that. And Legion Commander is going to be feeding away a little bit of damage towards the Sven, which is one of the worst heroes on the enemy side to give it away to. I'd say that the PA is slightly worse, but everybody on Lajons is going to be happy with that last exchange. Except for Era, I suppose, who got obliterated by the two supports.
Yeah, but next time he's going to have a BKB, so if he does get in that situation again, he will maybe be able to survive. He just pops BKB, because even though they had a multicast Mystic Flare combo, it just wasn't enough to instantly kill out the PA, which I would have thought it would be, but, Drums, Ogre Club, Power Treads, he's sitting at 1500, and he's not going to instantly die to that combo, so if he doesn't instantly die, then he's most likely going to escape with the BKB. Regardless, AlbumSheet, they're still feeling pretty comfortable. Now with a Dagon on the... Wow, a Dagon Scarth Mage. That's been a long time, but it's going to be picked up. Now an Aegis on the Slaughter as well. I don't know where they're going to go, but it looks like it's going to be mid. And there are 2 towers to take there, plus an Exorcism available. Why not go for mid?
Yeah, I don't know. Just a little side note on the Dagon on Scarth Mage. I think it's completely fine. I don't think there was any other item that really would have helped him much more. And at least in the next fight, they're not going to be working up against a BKB Phantom Assassin. So for his next fight, it's going to be huge. And then consistently finding those pickoffs with that extra burst damage on the Scarth Mage is fairly easy. And the extra int doesn't go amiss on a Scarth either. I think it's a fine choice, although unconventional.
Mid lane is very easily going to be pushed. Loa Dance going to get tagged with an arrow, so a little bit unfortunate there, but he's going to get healed up very quickly by the Legion, and this pain train does not stop. Chomi still has an Exorcism and doesn't really want to use it, but I think for a tier 2, it's worthwhile. I mean, you might as well, unless they're thinking about going for high ground, which I think is a little bit more bold than really they should be right now, because bottom lane and top lane, they're both being pushed. Jonas and Fan doing quite a lot of work with those treants, and if they don't use Exorcism, they might just end up falling behind in this race, so they are going to commit it, and they would have been able to try to poke on the high ground, but going for a tier 2 tower in general is just going to be fine. Kix is going to be amplified, though there is a Moonlight Shadow, it will be spotted, and this tower is still going to be defended. This Elder Titan Spirit being so freaking annoying, and it is going to be, so far, a nice little win for Lions as they, well, they take a tower, but they very quickly lose the Legion Commander.
In the meantime, Nature's Prophet... What?
Go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Nature's Prophet's been running overtime, getting a tier 2 tower down in bottom, as well as a courier pickoff inside the enemy jungle. Tier 2 tower is eventually going to fall towards AlbumSheet, but it's not a clean-cut victory. It's a courier plus a tower for a tower plus a support kill.
What is more damage for Afterlife? I guess I value those kills a little bit more highly, obviously, because you get permanent bonuses outside of Golden Experience, but still, it is at bottom line, Jonas and Fan pretty much keeping his team in this game. I mean, they really can't afford a heads-on fight right now. They have been, and they will continue to be running on pickoffs and split pushing in order to keep themselves in the game. And that's really where Lions like to play. This is pretty much their ideal scenario, except with more farm. If they can continue to keep this, then they'll be fine, but it's only a matter of time for AlbumSheet to have their eyes set on the high ground, and then you can't afford to split push to delay a Loa Dance. He's going to be jumped by a Sven. He will blink out from that Stormhammer. He'll be just fine.
Yeah, also BKB if things really hit the fan, but Scarth Mage now going to be sold up by the Nature's Prophet. Unfortunately for the Nature's Prophet, he's not able to secure the gem, and now he's going to find himself in the wrong end of the neighborhood with Aloha Dance. That's the disher out of that damage. Poor Nature's Prophet ends up finding himself at a disadvantageous trade. Yeah, if he would have been able to get out of there, especially if he got the gem, it would have been really nice for him, but it's not going to be so. Aloha Dance ends the Nature's Prophet's joy run on the enemy side of the map.
And now Afterlife, no fear. They're going to roam around very comfortably, at the very least, to secure map control back for AlbumSheet. There are not many wards in the area, but one of the two that is on the map is very quickly going to be deleted by AlbumSheet, which would have happened anyway. So it's just a matter of time. Shiva's Guard, now completed by the Death Prophet. I expect to see an Assault Cuirass somewhere in the build for AlbumSheet. Don't know who it's going to be. Legion Commander, Slardar, hell, maybe even a Death Prophet. It's not too terrible with that item, but that's going to help them push that high ground, which for right now should be their next objective. They still have an Aegis, which I don't think is going to get much use. It should be timing out with how things are looking to go for the next couple minutes of the game, but really, it's going to be high ground. That's usually the hardest part of the game for teams, and this game is no exception. Death Prophet with minus armor is going to very quickly break that, but it's going to be Kix, first of all, running into No Fear. This is a very tanky hero, Ogre, but you can't really withstand that. Even a double damage rune on Sven, my god. He's going to snag the gem and then get the hell out with Elder Titan. Stomp, stunning onto 3. Earth Splitter as well, which will crack Chomi back to a little bit of damage, but he will be fine as well. Aloha Dance, does he really want in on this one? He has an Aegis, so he can afford to do this, but he's not going to do that much of anything. He really wants this kill on Sven, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, Aloha Dance is going to be forced to back out, even though his Aegis is still there. I think he's a natural choice for Assault Cuirass, sitting on 4,300 gold. Aloha Dance, as well as benefiting very heavily from both the armor and the attack speed. I think if you got it on the DP, it's just a little bit of armor overkill, and the Legion Commander would rather finish it for BKB and Mjolnir, so once that Aegis expires, he's still going to have another item to fill that slot up with Aloha Dance, but for now, both teams are just going to be content with what they've gotten out of the map. Nature's Prophet is the big winner in net worth on the side of Lions, able to continuously push out these lanes, and now the Maelstrom is going to help that out. Phantom Assassin has still been playing catch-up, has the BKB, and now the workings of a Helm of the Dominator, but still, Era hasn't really found any great impact in this game. TP up towards top from the Nature's Prophet as well as a Blink Sprout onto Aloha Dance. His Aegis just expired. He might be forced to pop a BKB here. Indeed will. He's going to eat the arrow while BKB now wants Joe's Sunfan. Might be able to get this. Is the bash going to be there? He gets one more auto attack before the invis fades, and he'll be able to find that kill. But now, in a bit of a pickle, BKB is going to wear off, and they have another stun, but Blink away will keep Slaughter safe. Just moving too fast.
Man, you don't mess with Slardar. Like, Nature's Prophet could do a lot of damage, assuming nothing touches him. But obviously that's not the case. BKB and he just charges at you. There's not really much you can do. And now Alodan's going to catch a break and find a regen rune. So getting rewarded for good play, I suppose. He's still on the hunt somewhat. It's not going to get full effect of the regen rune, but that's fine. Being 300 HP at, no big deal. He is going to go for that MKB. So even though the Phantom Assassin is not really the most threatening hero on the map right now for AlbumSheet, they will still have answers for her. And if anyone else picks up a Halberd or anything like that, then Aloha Dance is going to be very ready for that target. And if that doesn't happen, at worst, it's an MKB on a hero. That still does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the negatives being, oh no, I have one of the highest single target damage items in the game. Oh dear. Yeah, he's going to be very happy with that. Also, kind of getting that double bash might be impactful, might not be. But still, the Slardar is incredibly scary to deal with and is able to buy that completely. Although it doesn't have buyback for this portion of the game, I don't think that's going to be very impactful at all. The rest of his team, including himself, are going to be pushing into this tier 2 tower as he does pick up that Monkey King bar. He's going to be tagged with an arrow, but no follow-up for it with the exception of a stomp. Aloha Dance is going to be taking a little bit of a snooze in front of the tier 2, but not a very long one, as I believe that stomp's only a level 1. The tier 2 tower is going to fall sooner rather than later, although we're going to see Dire's Courier get killed again. Jonas Sunfan's been working overtime. That's the second Courier kill of the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, both times the Couriers haven't really been carrying that much. First time it was a bottle. Second time it was just a Quelling Blade, which was there just to sell, honestly, so it will be sold eventually. AlbumSheet, they're going to keep going with this one. Exorcism is popped, and this time Lions, they can't afford to split push race, as they will not be winning this one. The Nature's Prophet is certainly going to try. Now Quix is going to jump in for Chomi, doing lots of damage to his Death Prophet with his Arrow Chain Stun. They will get the Death Prophet, but it is a duel, regardless, won by Afterlife. Now going to take out the Elder Titan. Now Ira, and the BKB is going to try to kill off Aloha Dance. Just going to fall short. However, Jonas Fan from the back line will get that kill. No Fear going to mess with Ira one more time. Multicast 3x. Going to buy No Fear a little bit of space, but the sleep is going to slow him down and kill him off. Now only Afterlife is going to be walking away from this, or will he? He's going to hit with an arrow. Now Ira's going to jump right in. There is Blade Mail up on Legion Commander, but not for much longer. That's going to be a full 5-man wipe in favor of Lions. And really, it's all because of that initiation from the Sven. Locking down and killing off the Death Prophet that quickly before she get literally anything off is huge.
Yeah, definitely. Even though the Legion Commander gets damage from it, it actually doesn't matter. They're able to peel everybody away, and finally Era's able to have some sort of tangible impact in the fight, getting multiple crits on his daggers as well as on his auto attacks, being able to clean up several important targets. And once the Slardar is gone, he doesn't really have to worry about anybody else inside the team fight, as they can't do enough damage at this point. When the BKB's on, they almost do nothing. And yeah, it's pretty huge. Skyrath Mage going to be caught up by Nature's Prophet as well as the Elder Titan. A fairly clean-cut kill for them with the Blink Orchid available for Jonas Sunfan. But still, this Slardar needs some sort of lifesteal or sustain in the fights. Vanguard at this point is almost completely fallen off.
Yeah, he needs a really big armor item, and I mentioned before Assault Cuirass, that should still be part of his build. Yeah, I don't think anyone else is going to be going for that, so might as well be Slardar. Just taking a plate mail, honestly, is going to be nice enough. Ordinarily, they would have the Shiva's Guard aura, so they would have a little bit of pseudo armor, I guess you could say, with that slow aura, but with Death Prophet dropping so quickly, it's not really going to be a huge issue for the Lions side. It is AlbumSheet taking not the best trade, or not the best set of events on the top lane. However, Roshan is going to be respawning very quickly. This is a rather fast Roshan spawn, and AlbumSheet, they've taken the past few so very quickly before any response from Lions. I don't see why this one should be an exception. With an Aegis and a Cheese, then I think they could make that same exact play on top lane, except this time it'll work for them, or it'll work a little bit better at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. I'd also like to see one of the supports consider getting a Vlad's for AlbumSheet. That extra lifesteal on the Slardar, not to mention the extra armor for even just some of the other supports. Even though they're not going to survive a Phantom Assassin jumping on them, it could be one extra attack, which might be a clutch Force Staff. They find themselves an Illusion, and the Illusion's going to be dead, although it would have timed out anyway. With Exorcism as well as Slardar's ultimate soon to be applied to the Roshan, they're going to be able to take this incredibly fast. Look at that Roshan melt.
Poor guy. He never knew what happened. Once the spell block was down, he was just dog meat for AlbumSheet. So that's going to be Aegis for the Slardar, Cheese of the Death Prophet, and they have to defend a little bit more against Jonas and Van. Again, the rat from Lions is real, and it's keeping them for the most part in this game. But AlbumSheet, they have pretty much the peak of their power right now. It's outside of, a couple more items being picked up, which will help, but won't really be hugely game-changing. With an Aegis Cheese, they should be looking for top lane, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. However, they will not be able to push as fast as this Nature's Prophet. He's going to pick up a Sheep Stick. Then I expect he's going to go down to the bottom lane and start pushing that out. AlbumSheet, they have to push out all of their lanes, and really they don't have any hero that could comfortably handle the Nature's Prophet solo while at the same time be in those fights. So this could be just Nature's Prophet still holding on to the game for Lions.
Yeah, Afterlife is going to pick up a Shadow Blade. I don't think this is going to impact the game enough in order to warrant the 3,000 gold, but at least for the next pickoff, they're not going to know that Afterlife has this item as long as he's careful not to be spotted out when he's actually visible on the map. And with the ward coverage coming out from Lions, although they don't know it, looks like Legion Commander is going to be able to find somebody pretty much scot-free. And it could be impactful. I don't know. I still don't like the item choice, but I think at least for this next fight, it could be crucial. And in that sense, it might be worth it. Let's see what he's going to find. He might be biting off more than he could chew if he goes for Solon.
Yeah, he's expecting to find a Nature's Prophet here. That's the plan with this play for Afterlife. But he sees the Mirana, and though they see her, it's going to be a turnaround with Gem on the Mirana, and Legion Commander gets torn to bits. Man, that is exactly not how the Legion Commander saw that happening. And she should have been checking items. Mirana did have the gem. Maybe Legion Commander thought Mirana was all alone, but either way, hits Legion Commander down for a minute.
Yeah, and it's what should have been an advantageous fight for AlbumSheet that's now going to be pretty problematic for them. With Nature's Prophet pushing out the lanes, now going to join the rest of his team, it's Lions are going to put the pressure onto the high ground. Although they can't really take it, they're going to put a lot of chip damage, and now Nature's Prophet is going to commit, and AlbumSheet aren't in position at all. This tier 3 tower is going to fall. They drop the glyph, but they need everybody back soon. This tier 3 tower is going to be the cost of that pickoff on the Legion Commander.
Well, tier 3 tower, not really a big deal at this point in the game. AlbumSheet should be okay with giving those up, but the problem is that they got nothing in exchange. That was just a sheer loss for AlbumSheet. Maybe if they took a fight and, took 2 kills, maybe a 2-for-1 trade or something like that, then it'll still be worth it for AlbumSheet to lose that tier 3 tower, but right now it was just them losing towers with no trade in sight, so they have to be very careful about that. They kind of felt comfortable holding those towers up or, delaying the defense just because the enemy team doesn't have that much pushing power right now, but they are very quickly getting to that point. Nature's Prophet, he's doing a truckload of damage, and, the Sven PA, they don't have the most, especially if they don't want to use their God Strength ultimate, but it's still enough if there's no one there for AlbumSheet to defend. So AlbumSheet, they're going to try to crack back, but once again, I don't think they're fast enough for this.
Yeah, definitely not. Phantom Assassin now with the Basher is starting to pick up some relevance as far as items are concerned, and left unchecked, it could be huge. Winner up top for Afterlife as he finds the Nature's Prophet. This is the pickoff he was looking for in bottom, and he is going to succeed. 120 damage still on Legion Commander, almost half a rapier.
That's pretty good. I would say that is pretty serviceable. She's going to once again be hunting. Still, it's going to be for Nature's Prophet, but she's going to settle for just clearing out the creep waves instead. Does not have travels. I think that item is very quickly going to become of more and more importance for AlbumSheet. Just dealing with the Nature's Prophet while at the same time being in those fights will be huge. They're going to try to initiate a fight over towards the bottom lane, but it's just going to be an X's and Pops for Chomi. If he gets blink stunned by the Sven once again, then I can see this turning south very quickly for AlbumSheet. It's going to be No Fear taking arrow first. Legion Commander's making a beeline here, but No Fear's dropping very low. Oh my god, he just dies. I mean, he didn't have a chance to do anything. Death Prophet into the air will dodge the Earth Splitter, but they're already down the Ogre. And just like that, I don't think AlbumSheet can fight. That Ogre did not stand a chance.
Not at all. I believe that was a dagger crit, but yeah, he was gone. The courier has been flying around for the Slaughter as he jumps in, goes for Bland, going to blow up Bland, now looking for Solon. Solon going to be mini bash, but not proper bash. Kix is going to be dueled up, and it's going to be another stack of damage for Afterlife. And just like that, it's AlbumSheet to turn this on their head. Lions are going to jump forward with their Nature's Prophet, but he's going to be bashed. Dagon, Scarlet Mage, Mystic Flare. It's a clean double kill for Aloha Dance. Now Era, caught between too many enemy heroes, is going to look for the crit damage onto Afterlife. Can he find it? The heal coming out to the Legion Commander is going to keep herself alive as Aloha Dance is forced to proc his Aegis. Now a concussive shot being thrown. Cheese dropped by the Death Prophet. I'm not sure who's going to pick that up. I believe it's Afterlife. He's going to drop his Blade Mail. Now at full health. AlbumSheet looking to make this their first lane of barracks, and indeed they will. Jump him again from Aloha Dance, finding a double stomp onto both the Mirana as well as the Sven. It's going to be another double kill going their way, and nobody on the side of Lions have buyback. Gem also secured by AlbumSheet. They can rotate mid.
this might be close to the end of the game. That was a beautiful stun from this Sven. He caught 3, and together with the Phantom Assassin, he was able to get a lot of damage cleave through all of AlbumSheet. But, you know, for every Stormhammer that is going to connect onto 3, Aloha Dance is going to land a Crush that connects onto 2. Doing that twice in succession set up AlbumSheet for pretty much the ideal initiation. Slaughter Crushing, it's a pretty good way of initiating fights. It's not the best, just because it's pretty clear what you're trying to do, but if you can make it happen with a 2-man, that's perfectly fine. Afterlife is going to start dueling up against Era. The duel might not be won. No, it will be won by Afterlife, up to 156 now, as Lineage Commander is pretty much a one-man army. There's Mega Creeps that are very soon going to flow into the base of Lions, and honestly, I don't see them coming back from this one. Maybe if they have Battle Fear on Phantom Assassin, they could hold out, but no, it's GG called.
Yeah, no big surprises there. It is going to be AlbumSheet taking a 2-0 victory over Lions. Although game number 2 was definitely a lot closer, all it takes is one big fight, especially when you have explosive heroes like both teams did. Just the amount of damage they were able to put out, especially on the sports, was pretty insane. That said, we're going to have another series coming up shortly. It was supposed to start, I believe, at least 30 minutes ago, so hopefully there's not too much of a delay there. Thanks for watching. We've been here on HeflaTV's second Hitbox channel. I'm Grennis V. I've been joined by Mike Flores, and we'll continue to be casting here for the remainder of the day, evening, morning, whatever it is where you're at. So thanks for watching, and hope you stick around for some more Dota coming out from the Battle of Central Europe.